So this will be a using your ears, mostly using the sensations of your body, your fingertips, and the places of your body, because I will ask you to close your eyes as we go through different movements. And of course, if you need to check out what, if something I'm saying doesn't make sense or you're not able to. But then after that, closing the eyes, maybe wearing the eye mask for the entire class, trying something a little different so you're moving with a different sensory awareness. This has likely two different sensations. You're either going to be taken more into your head, or you'll be able to come down more into the body. And that's generally what we want to do, is come out of so much of the thinking outside of this class and come into sensation, come into the feeling of how something feels as you're going through it, rather than looking as much. So I will be wearing this from time to time, and we're going to start, and would like you to start with a blanket that you're going to roll up. We're going to start with it along the spine. Of course, having a block, I don't believe we'll use a strap today, but it can be a blanket that's rolled up lengthwise. This can also be another mat. If you have a second yoga mat, this is a perfect length. So all I've done is taken my blanket and rolled it up nice and tight. And so I'm going to, let's see if I can take the eye mask to the, okay, so you'll be sitting on the blanket with your tail on one end and your head on the other end. Now my head is kind of going off, so I'm going to scooch. And so if you tail and head along this, and generally what we're doing is cradling the spine or where. So you have this support underneath the spine, nestle from side to side. Another really great tool is a half roller. So if any of you have a half roller at home, that would be really an amazing tool for this. But anything that you have, and if you don't, just having your feet together like a prayer, will go into bound angle, and having that eye mask to go around, or just gently placing it over the eyes, or simply closing your eyes. And in your bound angle, this can be done with one leg at a time. So you could do one knee out and the other leg straight. And bringing your hands to your person, somewhere on your body where you can feel the sensations of breath. I like this area right here at my rib, lower ribs, the floating ribs. They tend to reflect what rib area and in the diaphragm. So if you're just joining us, if you have something to place over your eyes, we're going to close the eyes for the entire class. And so even when we're going through the next movement, allow yourself to have a little fun by turning off your perception of what's coming back from your eyes. We're going to let them rest and go into the sensations from our fingertips, the sensitive areas of the skin. Begin, as your hands are on your person, to breathe into your hands. Relax your shoulders, areas of your neck, upper shoulders, and the shoulder blades that are nestling around your blanket in the back. not here to stop the mind from thinking. We're just here to slow everything down. I just want to slow down, becoming more aware that the thoughts are happening, that we're here in this moment more as an observer. Maybe you can feel or sense that slight pulsing from the heart. Maybe moving one hand into the heart area. You can even feel the heart beating in the solar plexus. Large pools of blood moving around the body, pulsing life within you. And letting go on these next 5 breaths. A deep exhale out of the mouth. As you release that last breath, gather the knees back together. And we're slowly going to roll off of the blanket and begin to bring that blanket now behind the neck. Just a little bit of an elevation in the head, so there'll be the chin slightly into the chest, and then draw those knees into your body. And again, just listening to my voice, allow yourself to sense what your body is doing. We're going to go into a very gentle spinal twist with straight legs. So you're going to bring both knees over to one side. Be sure they're hugged into your body so you get a very nice twist in the low spine. Adding a block if you need to, and then straightening out your legs out to the side. Arms in goalposts out to your side to side. And in your mind's eye, picturing a clear blue sky, no stars, no clouds, just a nice, beautiful turquoise blue. Just keeping that image of a crystal clear sky. Relaxing and breathing into your twist. As your mind darts around, coming back to that clear blue sky. The purpose is to relax, as you have nothing to think about and nothing to figure out. Another 10 breaths here. I'm going to relax the central nervous system, relaxing the digestive organ system. Last 2 breaths here. And then from those straight legs, draw the knees back in and through center, hugging back in. You can gather your head, neck, and shoulders up to meet those knees as well. You can get a nice stretch in that low back as much as you like. And then coming back to the mat, knees into the chest, and then placing over to the opposite side. Straighten those legs out if you have space. I've got, and now the shoulders, rather than going back into goal post, you can do one of 2 things, either arms overhead with opposite elbow being held, or going into that goal post in the opposite. I call it the reverse scarecrow. And more than likely there'll be a little bit of elevation. You can also hang your hands on some blocks. I'm going to let them dangle in the air here. And we're back to that clear blue sky. And let's add a clear blue body of water. It can be an ocean or a lake, maybe a nice swimming pool. Let's see those blues meeting up. Focusing on the fluidity, going with the flow of the water, and the crystal clear blue sky. And enjoy the next 10 breaths to yourself, counting. Each exhale is 1. Each breath as you breathe out, releasing a little more into your body and out of the mind. Last 3 breaths. And we'll remove anything from behind the neck or the head. And gently bringing your legs back to center. Hug the knees in nice and tight. Wrap your arms, if it's available, hugging in all the way into your elbows. And just hang out here, hugging in. We're going to push into the organs in the abdomen. So the more tight you have, then breathe tightly into your abdomen. We're just creating pressure. And send that breath really low, very low, and push your belly against your legs as you breathe. Abdominal breathing. And going by sensation. Sensing that tightness in your breath and in your body. And then listen to any bubbles that might be happening as well during this time. So we're going to cross the right knee on top of the left knee, kind of like you're sitting in a chair and you would cross your legs one over the other. And we're going to hug the legs again with that cross or that twisted leg. Slide your hands to the shins, or maybe you can slide down to the ankles or even the feet and hug the legs again into the body. And this is a shoelace. We'll call this the shoelace pose. So reclining shoelace legs. And again, that abdominal pressure in the body as you breathe against the atmospheric pressure in your body, in your abdomen. Enjoy these next 5 breaths, just deliberately breathing, listening to the rush of air in through the nose, out through the nose, if the nose is available to you. We want to seal the lips. If you're working on having more nostril availability, you have a combination of the nose and the mouth. Keep working to open up the sinus area and breathe in and out through the nose. Not everybody is equipped with that, but I want to impress upon how important it is, nostril breathing. And then very easy transition. We're going to go into the reclined pigeon. So just slide that top leg, your right leg, so the ankle comes on top of the knee. And we go into that pigeon pose. So threading the needle, one hand or arm is between the legs, the other is on the outside. And we're hugging that left leg in as the right leg is propped up on the knee. And we can circle the ankles both here. Feel your spine along the mat. open up and unfurl your sternum, or your unfurl your sacrum, so your hips are making contact with the mat. You're not completely lifted. The pelvis is not completely lifted off the mat. So lengthen out. Now, some yogis will stay right here. Some yogis, it might feel good to straighten your left leg, so your right leg's still there on the knee. Left leg straightens up, and you'll reach up or over and above to find your ankle or shin bone. So we're just having a little more of a extension of the reclined pigeon pose. So lengthen out the hamstring. Intense stretch. Pointing and flexing the feet now, so the ankle dorsiflex. Another option for yogi, 10 or these last 10 breaths, you can take your head, neck, and shoulders up to meet the legs. So yogi's choice here. You can switch back into the reclined pigeon to do your crunch ups. So this should feel more of a deep, juicy stretch rather than some sort of exercise in which you're straining your arms, straining your shoulders or neck. If that's going to be the result, then hang out and relax on your mat. You can also bring one hand behind your head to support the neck and head as you draw your legs to your chest. The legs now up to the air, and we're going to do just legs in the air. You can tuck your hands under your hips. You can apply a blanket or a block underneath the hips, or just simply have your legs in the air. We'll do just a few breaths here, a minute or so, draining out the day. So maybe you've been on your feet, sitting in a chair, all the gravity has been pulling down on the veins of your legs, so letting the knees and the ankles drain of any fluid that may have collected, over fluid legs. Gather them into your body, a little bit of rocking in the spine. Let the leg come back, and we'll switch to the opposite side. So now the left knee will cross on top of the right knee, just like you're sitting in a chair and your legs are crossed. Hugging now the knees in that shoelace pose, moving your hands to the ankles or the feet. And abdominal breathing. I tell you, I don't know if you can hear, but my stomach is gurgling. Whenever I push my knees in, it's bubble effects happening. So I don't know if everybody else is having that, but it sure is effective. Breathing low, pushing into those organs. And you should also feel a nice stretch in the side line of your hips. So this is a nice hip stretch. Enjoying the next 10 breaths, counting to yourself. Each exhale is the one. Last 2 breaths. And as you release, now the ankle will go to the knee and we'll thread the needle for reclined pigeon pose. Then you could circle your ankles here. And for those yogis that would like to straighten now the right leg, as you hold the right leg straight, long, intense stretch behind the back of the leg, the hamstring. And you can point and flex now. And again, just that length of the spine. We don't want the hips completely lifted off of the mat. We want a little bit of that sacrum rim. So a long unfurled spine along the mat. And then at this time, for your last 10 breaths, if you would like to take your head, neck, and shoulders up on the exhale. Inhale, you'll come back down to the mat and repeat as you like. Last 2 breaths. We'll take the legs up in the air again for another minute of draining or waterfall, lymphatic drainage. And bending the knees, placing your hands behind the knees, and either rock and roll up your spine, tuck your chin into your chest. We're gonna rock like a ball and come up to seated pose, but keep your eyes closed. And come into easy cross leg, or easy asterisk, easy-ish cross leg. Now, I'm having my right shin in front because I want to remember that the right is in front. And placing your hands on your knees just for stability. We're going to go in a nice circle with your upper body. So your torso is going to circle around. And I'm hoping nobody will get dizzy. I'm wondering about myself. So if you do need to open your eyes for this. So slow it down. The sensation starts to create a little bit of nausea. But Sufi circles, so you're taking or imagining the stick of your spine and you're stirring in the contents of your pelvic bowl here. So all the pelvis is rocking and tilting as you lean back. You can feel the pubic bone tip up and then carry back the opposite way. So let's reverse the flow now. So going to the opposite direction. Breathe as you move through your Sufi circles here. Picture those vertebrae moving fluidly So we're going to go into a forward fold. So the next time your chest comes forward, simply walk your hands along the front of your mat and come all the way down to the floor. Staying low in your forward fold, walk both hands over to one side. So notice and sense whether your hips on that side, how much they elevated, and then apply a little bit of a stretch there in the muscles and re-anchor the opposite hip bone towards the mat. And you should feel a lot of air on your left side and a very small amount of air on your right side, so we really compressed it. And so let's switch now. We'll take that low all the way over to the opposite side. Walking the hands, take your time, and now we sink and cinch off the left side and expand. So just bringing your awareness to the sensations that breath can bring you. And again, how much of your hips lifted. So extend the muscle fibers and the fascia, connecting the bones together so that you can imprint that hip back towards the mat ever so slightly. Maybe it'll touch back, maybe it won't, and that's okay. And gently bringing the body back through to center. And we'll spend the last 5 breaths back at center. And gently rising up, keeping the eyes closed or keeping your eye mask on. It will straighten the legs out now. So taking a nice straight leg, maybe some windshield wipers, and we'll go into forward fold since we are here. Arms nice and, or spine nice and long. You can bring your arms up above your head and then reach for your feet wherever your hands land. And then relax your shoulders, relax the elbows. Put a little bend in your elbows that'll help to keep the shoulders away from the ears. And let your neck release. Nice abdominal breathing again, low. From the very low belly, below the belly button, draw the air in and push against the organs and expand into your back. Lift the rib cage along the opening of your back and shoulder blades. Final 3 breaths right here. Releasing to come up to seated pose, and we switch sides. So now your left shin is in front in a easy cross leg pose. I also like the Burmese where the legs or the feet are more on the mat rather than ankle on top of ankle. So that is also available. And so we're going to do instead of the Sufi circles, we did Sufi circles on the other side. This time we will do lateral bends. So bring your right hand to the mat alongside on your right, and you bring your left arm up and over. So we're going to reach nice and long, and this is a grounding in the hips. So you're grounding as you move, and on your next inhale, come back to center and switch to the other side. So the left hand comes down to the mat, and you'll take a nice side lateral bend over to the right. Oops, to the left. And then back through center, inhale, and over to the left. With left hand to the right. And keep feeling that sensation of grounding as you move back to center. Exhale, lateral bend, inhale, center. Relax your shoulders, relax and go with the bending of the spine here. So picture the vertebra, you have a picture of those knobby bones and the little pads in between the bones, and in between that is some gelatinous fluid, and so there's cartilage and fluid, and there's these nerve bundles and communication lines and blood vessels all of these things are having a nice moment of pinch and release as you go from center to lateral bend and back again. And coming back through to center, find yourself back in a long spine, and we'll take a long spine forward fold now. And I'll face the camera. I've had my mask off. I wasn't even facing the camera. Ooh, that's losing it in the moment. Love it. Final 5 breaths here. Beginning to exhale that final breath and make your way to sitting up, and we'll release the mask just for a moment. Gently allow the light to come back into the eyes, just nice soft slits. As you bring your palms together, we're going to create some heat, and we'll do some eye movement yoga. And so the eyes, they run on muscles and tirelessly giving you feedback of your environment through the vibration and wavelengths of light and so forth. So let's give them a nice break. When you rub your hands together, then the palms will go to the eye sockets like so. So as we go through in between, we will rub and place the palms at the eye socket. So the first movement that we're going to do is this, imagining the clock, and we're going to look up at 12 and down at 6. So the neck stays stationary, and just the eyes looking up and looking down, and you're looking all the way to that peripheral black edge, I guess is a good way to describe it. Or if it's a little too much, you'll know where to go here. So 6 to 12. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath here. And then bring your palms together, create some heat, close your eyes, and rest the eyes in your hands, applying a state of appreciation, the translation of light, the reading of wavelengths, the depth perception that we've been accustomed to creates our world. So we're going to do a 3 to 9. So that's from side to side. So when you're ready, going all the way as far as your eyes will allow you to. Keep breathing. And it's just your eyes, not the head. And then bringing heat and loving appreciation. Thank you so much, eyes. Thank you so much. My world is so much richer. The ability to see, to observe, take in pictures of light. And now we'll do a diagonal. This will be from the number 2 to the number 8. So it's a diagonal to the top right and then to the top left. So whichever diagonal you would like to go, we're going to do that. Some heat, relax those muscles, and applying gratitude. And we'll switch and do the diagonal to the opposite direction, so that would be from 10 and to 4 or something of that nature, 10 to 4. Make that heat. Thank you. Thank you to these eyes. Thank you. And this next eye exercise, it might work well if you bring your fingers away and bring them towards you, because you're going to look at the tip of your nose. So cross the eyes, looking at the tip of the nose, and then bringing back focus at about 12 inches in front of you, and then back. Maybe you don't need the finger. Maybe you can do this on your own, but you're bringing those two parts. Looking away and then looking right at the tip of your nose. And if you wanted to, you could look at the tip of your left nostril and your right nostril. And if you have a minute looking at your nose, do that. Look with your right eye, left eye, the tip of your nose. You can see the shadow of your nose from one eye to the other. So if that's available to you, you're going to look and switch dominant eyes here. It's just a little awareness. And then create some heat. And bringing your hands to your eyes. And so it is yogi's choice. If you would like to stay in a seated pose for your shavasana and go into a meditation and just a seated meditation, you could also go into your shavasana traditional where you are lying down. Child's pose is another option. And of course, legs up the wall, another round of legs up the wall. And I would like you to again place your eye mask, and I'm going to play some nice, lovely music with an eye mask. How about that? But fear not, it will be in a key that I can nearly not hit a wrong note, so. I'd like to bring you now back to the image of the blue sky, the crystal clear blue azure or turquoise sky, and then an azure blue body of water. And as you bring your awareness, allow your mind to also reflect clear, crystal, calm sky and fluid, crystal clear blue water. Gathering your knees into your body, just gently waking yourself little by little. You can slide your mask off, just bringing your hands at your heart center. And if you'd like to take your video off and come into gallery mode, we haven't done an Om in a while, so I thought we could do a nice Om with your eyes closed. That's allowing your hands to come to your heart center as you let the vibrations flow through you. Allow your breath to rise inside. Namaste, lovely yogis. Have
Namaste.
a night. Sleep well.